In last class, we have completed 10th chapter, Inheritance. So today in this class, I will revise this chapter briefly with the help of this notes. So this chapter, Inheritance, is very important because this is very easy chapter, and in examination from this chapter you will get total 9 marks. So from this chapter total you will get 4 questions in the examination this year. So you will get 2 questions of 1 mark and 1 question of 2 marks and 1 question of 5 marks. So total you will get 4 questions for 9 marks. So this is very easy chapter. So already we have studied what is inheritance. So already you know inheritance. Inheritance means actually these words are used mainly. So inheritance means getting properties or characteristics or features from our ancestors. Like we get property from our parents or our ancestors, like father, grandfather, mother, grandmother, like this. So we get the property, physical property, like land, home, and agriculture land or any plots, like this. So that is a physical property. So such type of property is transferred from parents to their children. So this is called as inherited property. Inherited means got from parents or our ancestors. So similarly, this is about physical property. Similarly, we get the properties from our fathers, like biological properties. We get from our parents, like our height, our body texture, color, our voice, like this. Some other biological features we get from our parents or ancestors. So that so we can say those are inherited features from our parents. So same thing, inheritance meaning is same in computer language, computer science subject also. So here inheritance is one of the important concept of object oriented programming. So it is implemented in C++ using classes. So inheritance means here in C++ we are creating new class from old classes, so that new class will get the properties from old classes. Okay, so we will see here in detail. Okay, first see the definition of inheritance. So what is inheritance? So inheritance is the capability of one class to inherit properties from another class. So inheritance is the ability or capacity of a class to get the properties from another class. So getting properties means inheriting, and this process is called inheritance. So inheritance is one of the important concept of object oriented programming. So how to do inheritance, how to implement inheritance? So inheritance is basically done by creating new class reusing the properties of existing class. The derived class is also called as new class. Inherits all the features from base class. So base class means old class. So new class inherits means gets the properties from or features from base class or old class, and it can have additional feature of its own. So it means if we create a new class from old class, then new class will have its own features, plus it will get the extra features from existing class from where we have derived this new class. Okay, next. So here some definitions are given. This is very important because this year you will get 2 questions of 1 marks from this chapter. So mostly you will get the definition questions, like what is base class, what is derived class, what is abstract class, what is virtual class, and what is visibility mode, like this. So let us see one by one. First, what is base class? Base class is the class whose properties are inherited by another class. So base class is also called as super class. So in simple word, you can also say base class is a class from which we can derive a new class. Next, derived class. So what is derived class? So it is the class that inherits properties from base class. Means derived class is a class which inherits means gets the properties from base class. Or in simple word, you can also write derived class is a class which is created from a base class. So derived class is also called as subclass. Next, abstract class. What is abstract class? So an abstract class is a class that is not used to create objects. So actually, you know, in C++ language, what is the use of class? Why class is created? So class is created to create objects. But abstract class means abstract class is a type of class which is not used for creating objects. So from abstract class, objects are not created. So such a type of class from which we are not creating any object, then that class is called as abstract class. So simple, abstract class is a class from where we are not, means abstract class is a class which is not used to create objects. So abstract class is used as a base class only. Okay, next, virtual class. So what is virtual class? So virtual class is a base class created using virtual keyword. Okay, then visibility mode. So what is visibility mode? So visibility mode, private, public or protected. So three types of modes are there: private, public and protected. You can use any one when we are creating derived class. So visibility mode is used in the definition of derived class, which specifies what features of base class are privately derived or publicly derived or protected derived. So visibility mode is a actually keyword public, private or protected. So it is used when we are creating a derived class to control the inheriting features of the base class. So we will see it in detail in next topic. Okay, next important thing is defining derived class. So this question may come for 5 marks. What is derived class? Explain with syntax and example. So here in this topic you have to explain how to create a new class from base class, or how to derive how to create a derived class from base class. So to create, when you declare a class, you can indicate what class it derives from by writing a colon after the class name, the type of derivation means visibility mode, public or private or protected, and the class from which it derives. Means in simple words, if we want to derive a new class from base class, we have to use the class keyword, then we have to use the name of new class, derived class, then colon, then visibility mode and the name of the base class, followed by the body. So here you can see in detail. So this is the syntax for creating a derived class, a new class from old base class. So syntax is first class keyword, then name of the derived class. So you can choose any name, it depends upon your choice. Next colon symbol, and next visibility mode we have to use, and last name of the base class. So after that, opening flower bracket and closing flower bracket with semicolon. So inside these brackets we have to write the body of derived class. So body means nothing but same. We have to use private section or public section, and we have to declare data members and member functions. So this is about creating a derived class from base class. So after writing this syntax, you have to explain every word, like here, where in above syntax, class means this is a keyword. So class is a keyword. Next, after class, here we are using derived class name. So derived class name is name of the derived class. So you have to select this name depending upon your choice, whatever name you can give. Next, we have to use colon symbol. So it indicates we are deriving a class from already existing class. So it shows derivation from base class, means from base class we are deriving a new class. Next, visibility mode. So in visibility mode, here, so we have to select any one from public, private or protected. So it specifies the type of derivation. Next, base class. So last one, this base class name, here you have to write. So it indicates name of the base class from which we are creating a new class. So lastly, okay, here one important point is there. So in this syntax, remember this syntax, this is very important. So here, if no visibility mode is specified, then by default the visibility mode is considered private. Means here, if we miss or if we skip or if we have not written any visibility mode, then compiler will automatically consider private mode. And last point, note all the members of class except private are inherited. So this is one important rule of inheritance. So in inheritance, when we are creating a new class from old class, all the members of old class are transferred to new class, but except private members, means private members are not transferred to the new class. Only public and protected members are transferred to the new class. So here you can see the example. So this is a example of inheritance, how to create a derived class. So this is a base class. So this is a base class. Why it is base class? Because it is a original class. It is not created from any other class. So name of this class is father. Then this is opening flower bracket and this is closing flower bracket with semicolon. So between these brackets, there are two types of members, private members and public members. So in private members, there are two members, name, age. And in public, there are 5 members, caste, boys, girls, read data, print data, like this. So there are 5 public members and 2 private members in father class. Okay, now let us see how to create a new class from this father class. So here I am creating a new class. So class keyword, then name of derived class. So here name of derived class is son, then colon, then visibility mode. Here you can take any one visibility mode, public, private or protected. So here public is used. Then father is the name of base class. So it means from this father class we are creating son class. So this is called as public derived class. Why public? Because here visibility mode we are using public, hence it is called public derived class. If we use private, then it is called as private derived class, like this. Okay, next, this is the opening flower bracket and this is the closing flower bracket. So inside this flower bracket, this is the body of derived class. So inside body, same here also two sections, private and public. So in private section, two variables are there, and in public also two variables are there. So here we are creating this son class from this father class. It means the public members of father class are inherited by this son class, means father class members are transferred to son class. So here only public members are transferred, this 5 members are transferred to this new son class. So these private members are not transferred. This is the basic rule of inheritance. So private members are not transferred to the new class or derived class. Only public members or public properties are transferred to derived class or new class. So here you can see inside son class, 2 private members are there, and here 2 public members are there. Total 4. So total 4 members are there in son class. So these 4 members are its own members, plus it will get other 5 members, public members from the father class, because we are created derived class from father class. So public members of this father class also transferred to this son class. So son class already having its own 4 members, plus it will get 5 members of father class. So total 9 members can be used by this son class. So this is inheritance. So this is the example of inheritance. Okay, next. So here next important thing is advantages of inheritance. So this is very important topic, because many times this question comes in the exam for 5 marks. So just here you have to write the 5 words to get the 5 marks. So you have to remember this. So inheritance has following advantages. First, reusing existing code. So we can reuse the already classes created in our program, or already we can reuse the properties of existing classes. So here we can reuse existing code, and faster development time, easy to maintain, easy to extend or modify, and better memory utilizations. So these are the 5 advantages. So here you have to remember this. Next is public inheritance and private inheritance, protected inheritance. So there are different types of inheritance based on visibility mode. So here example is given. Here we are creating a derived class using class keyword. So this is a derived class name, this is colon, and this is the visibility mode public, and this is the base class name. Already you know how to create a derived class. So when creating a derived class, if we are using public visibility mode, then it is called as public inheritance. So similarly, when we are creating a derived class, if we are using private visibility mode, then this is called as private inheritance. So same, when we are creating a derived class using protected visibility mode, then this is called as protected inheritance. So syntax will be same, just it depends upon visibility mode, what type of visibility mode we are using. If we use public, then it is called public inheritance. If we use private, it is called private inheritance, and if we use protected, then it is called protected inheritance. So what happens when we use public, private, protected? Let us see in detail. So when we use public as a visibility mode, then the public members of base class become or remain public members in derived class also. No changes. So in base class also, public members, already you know, public members are transferred from base class to derived class. So in base class, public member transferred to derived class. In derived class also public members remain public only, public type. Then private members of base class cannot be inherited. So this is basic rule. So you can use any visibility mode in any condition. Private members of base class are not transferred to the derived class or new class. Then the protected members of base class remain protected in derived class also. So when we use public visibility mode. Okay, now see what happens when we use private visibility mode. So when we use private visibility mode when creating a derived class, the public member of base class become private members in derived class. So when we use private visibility mode when creating a new class, then the public member of base class becomes private in new class. So here in previous case you have seen when we use public visibility mode, public member of base class remains as it is, means remains public only in derived class. But when we use private visibility mode, public members of base class becomes private in derived class. Second rule, same. Private members of base class cannot be inherited, means private members of base class not transferred to new class, derived class. And the protected member of base class remain protected in derived class. Okay, now what happens when we use protected as visibility mode? The public members of base class become protected in derived class. So when we use protected visibility mode, public member of base class are transferred to new class. So these public members becomes protected in new class when we use protected visibility mode. Same second point is private members of base class are not transferred, not inherited, and the protected member of base class remain protected. So once again, in public visibility mode, public members of base class remain public in derived class. So in private visibility mode, public members of base class becomes private in derived class, and protected members of base class remains protected in derived class. So this is about public inheritance, private inheritance, and protected inheritance. Okay, next. So this is very important topic, types of inheritance. Compulsory many times for 5 marks this question comes in the examination. This is very easy. So you have to explain types of inheritance. So there are 5 types of inheritance: single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. So in examination you have to write the answer for 5 marks. So you have to write a list of these types and you have to explain or write the definition for each type with diagram. So here let us see one by one. First, single inheritance. Single inheritance means if a class is derived from a single base class, it is called as single inheritance. So in simple words, if we are creating a new class from only one base class, then it is called as single inheritance. So here you can see in diagram, this is single inheritance. So here only one base class is there. So from one or single base class, we are creating only one derived class. So this is called single inheritance. Next, multi-level inheritance. So multi-level means the classes can also be derived from the classes that are already derived. This type of inheritance is called multi-level inheritance. So in simple word, we can create a new class from already derived class. We can create or we can derive a class from already derived class. So this type of inheritance is called as multi-level inheritance. So here you can see in the diagram, multi-level inheritance. So from base class, we are creating a derived class 1. So from this derived class we are creating another derived class 2. So from derived class 2 we can create again derived class 3, 4, 5 up to n. So you can create many classes from already derived classes. So here this derived class 2 so here derived class 1 becomes base class for derived class 2, and the base class for derived class 1 is this first class, base class. So here just the main thing is we can create a new class or derived class from already derived class. So this is multi-level inheritance. Next, multiple inheritance. So multiple means if a class is derived from more than one base class, it is called as or known as multiple inheritance. So in simple word, if a class is derived from multiple base classes, multiple base class or more than one base class. So here in diagram you can see multiple inheritance means more than one base class is used to create a new derived class. So here you can see this is a derived class. So it is derived from base class 1, base class 2 and base class 3. So here for creating a new class we are using multiple base class, more than one base class. So this type of inheritance is called multiple inheritance. Then hierarchical inheritance. So this is opposite of multiple inheritance. So hierarchical inheritance means if many classes are derived from a single base class, it is called as hierarchical inheritance. So here you can see in the diagram hierarchical inheritance. So in this inheritance from single base class we are deriving many derived classes. From single base class we are creating many new classes. So this is called as hierarchical inheritance. So here you can say this is derived class 1, derived class 2 and derived class 3. So all these three derived classes are derived or created from only one or single base class. So this is hierarchical inheritance. Next, hybrid inheritance. So hybrid means mixture, mixing all the types. So here hybrid inheritance is combination of hierarchical and multi-level inheritance. So in hybrid inheritance we are using or combining the other types of inheritance. So here you can see in the diagram. So in this diagram you can see here this is the base class. From this base class we are creating two derived classes. So this is a hierarchical inheritance. Again from these two derived classes we are creating one new derived class. So this is multiple inheritance and multi-level inheritance. So here three concepts we are combining. So this is about hybrid inheritance. So this is the details about inheritance chapter. So this is chapter number 10. So actually in full syllabus this chapter is for 5 marks. So in full syllabus from this chapter only one question used to come in the examination for 5 marks only. But this year for reduced syllabus you will get 4 questions from this chapter for total 9 marks. So from this 4 so 4 question means 2 1 marks questions. So you will get some definitions like what is base class, what is inheritance, like this. And for 2 marks you will get advantage or types of inheritance depending upon visibility mode. Or for 2 marks question will come like what is the syntax of creating derived class, like this. And for 5 marks question may be fixed for these types of inheritance. So the types of inheritance will come for 5 marks. So these types of inheritance also may also come for 2 marks, like explain any 2 types of inheritance. So you have to study this full chapter this much only, then you can cover 9 marks easily. So this is about 10th chapter, inheritance. So don't miss this. Make this chapter perfect because this is very easy. You have to remember the definitions and one syntax. This is the syntax for creating derived classes. So advantages are very important here. Many times these advantages also come in the examination for 5 marks. And types of inheritance is also very important. So here I will stop this class.